Have you ever heard a story so wild you thought it had to be fake? Well, this one is 100% true, and it involves a king, a dead pope, and one of the most bizarre trials in all of history. Picture this. The year is 897 and we're in Rome. The air is thick with tension. A new pope, Stephen VI, has just come to power, and he has a serious grudge against his predecessor, Pope Formosus. But Formosus is already dead and buried. So what does Stephen do? He does something completely insane. He orders his men to dig up Formosus's 9-month-old corpse. Now, this is where it gets truly unbelievable. They don't just dig him up. They take the decaying body, dress it in the full papal vestments, the fancy robes, the hat, everything, and physically prop him up on the papal throne in the middle of a grand cathedral. They are literally putting a dead man on trial. This event is so infamous it has its own name, the Cadaver Synod. Imagine the scene. Pope Stephen stands before the corpse and starts screaming accusations. He charges the deceased Formosus with all sorts of crimes, like perjury and illegally seizing the papacy. A young deacon, terrified out of his mind, is forced to hide behind the throne and answer for the dead pope. Of course, the verdict is a foregone conclusion. The corpse is found guilty. And the punishment? It was brutal. First, they stripped the sacred robes from the body, symbolizing that he was never a legitimate pope. Then, in a truly grisly act, they take a knife and cut off the 3 fingers on his right hand, the very fingers he used to give blessings. As if that wasn't enough, they drag the mutilated corpse through the streets of Rome and unceremoniously dump it into the Tiber River. This grotesque spectacle didn't sit well with the people of Rome. The city erupted into chaos. Riots broke out, fueled by outrage and superstition. Many believed the trial was a horrific sacrilege. Shortly after, an earthquake shook Rome, which many interpreted as a sign of God's wrath. The public turned on Pope Stephen. He was eventually imprisoned and strangled to death in his cell. The story doesn't even end there. The next pope reversed the verdict, fished Formosus's body out of the river, and gave it a proper burial. But then, another pope came along and reinstated the guilty verdict. This back and forth went on for a while. So the next time you think modern politics or reality TV is dramatic, just remember the Cadaver Synod. A time when political rivalries were so intense, they literally put a corpse on trial. It's a shocking reminder of just how strange and brutal history can be. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as wild as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more unbelievable tales from history. See you next time.